Love and peace to you. This is a verbal discourse on our Welt Ethos. My name is Peter Johansson Osisi, and I work with our Sona Ashram. And this is an introduction to some teachings from Hinduism and the Bhagavad Gita regarding the seventh principle, principle numero siete of our Welt Ethos, referred to as Hygge, essentially family togetherness. Again, the Bhagavad Gita is a discourse pertaining to spiritual ascension as an individual, as a sentient being within this temporal realm. And it begins on a battlefield with Arjuna and his charioteer, who is revealed as Sri Krishna. And so Arjuna is faced with the prospect of fighting his relatives. And this provides an interesting consideration regarding the prospect of a nearly best case scenario regarding a family, considering the the future generations of a family prospering, expanding, eventually at some point um, being in contention with each other, and so there's a consideration of facilitating a culture of reconciliation that eases those contentious tendencies to maintain continuous prosperity and harmony. But in this case, there is the prospect of warfare amongst relatives, and this angst is conveyed within the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, 28 a 35, chapter 1, verse 28 through 35. O Krishna, I see my own relations here anxious to fight, and my limbs grow weak. My mouth is dry, my body shakes, and my hair is standing on end. My skin burns, and the bow Gandiva has slipped from my hand. I am unable to stand, my mind seems to be whirling. The signs bode evil for us. I do not see that any benefit can come from killing our relations in battle. O Krishna, I have no desire for victory or for a kingdom or pleasures. Of what use is a kingdom or pleasure or even life, if those for whose sake we desire these things, teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, uncles, in-laws, grandsons, and others with family ties, are engaging in this battle, renouncing their wealth and their lives? Even if they were to kill me, I would not want to kill them, not to become ruler of the three worlds, how much less for the earth alone. And that is the Bhagavad Gita 1:28 a 35. So that is one of the challenges. Pursuing reconciliation. Um, Arjuna goes on within his address to Sri Krishna to describe the importance of family, and how family is an integral component in the continuation of the lineage and the traditions of our ancestors, and part of the continuing legacy, and even esoteric and spiritual legacy of our forebears. Um, and so this is conveyed within Bhagavad Gita 1:40 a 43, chapter 1, verse 40 through 43. When a family declines, ancient traditions are destroyed. With them are lost the spiritual foundations for life, and the family loses its sense of unity. Where there is no sense of unity, the women of the family become corrupt, and with the corruption of its women, society is plunged into chaos. Social chaos is hell for the family and for those who have destroyed the family as well. It disrupts the process of spiritual evolution begun by our ancestors. The timeless spiritual foundations of family and society would be destroyed by these terrible deeds, which violate the unity of life. That is the Bhagavad Gita 1:40 a 43, chapter 1, verse 40 through 43. So again, family is an integral institution. It is a fundamental, important institution for the cohesion of society, but also the cohesion in the lineage and the conveyance, the transmission of esoteric and ancient traditions and wisdom, and rituals and customs and practices, and culture and teaching from generation to generation. Um, so the Bhagavad Gita goes on to talk to provide direction, to provide teaching. Sri Krishna provides teaching regarding the process of spiritual ascension, spiritual transcendence. And again, this is an individual process. An individual pursues on one's own, cultivating an awareness of the divine presence within one's own self, and observing it, witnessing it, cultivating that experience all throughout beyond an individual, amidst the many different individuals and life and phenomena that surround the individual. And so Sri Krishna teaches this very much as an individual pursuit. It also is a pursuit. It is a spiritual discipline and practice that involves compassion towards others, and so there's an element of social interaction as well, and fulfilling the duties an individual has as a householder, as a family, as a family member, as a mother, as a father, as a child, as a brother or sister, and additionally. Um, so all of those responsibilities and those experiences of relationship are to be pursued with that mindfulness of spiritual ascension, recognizing being intentional regarding the divine presence that exists within each individual with whom we interact, including our family members, and the purposefulness in the relationships that we maintain in continuing these traditions and these teachings. Um, so, um, though much of the Bhagavad Gita describes this process of spiritual ascension as an individual, it is also understood to exist within the context of being a family member as well. And so there is a point where in the Bhagavad Gita where Sri Krishna references the spiritual discipline of a family collectively, particularly the practice of samadhi meditation, and how actually comparatively rare that is, but how valuable it is and what a benefit it is. And indeed, Sri Krishna describes it as a reward, being in such a family. And this is the passage. Chapter 6, 41 a 42. Chapter 6, verse 41 through 42. When such people die, they go to other realms, where the righteous live. They dwell there for countless years and then are reborn into a home which is pure and prosperous. Or they may be born into a family where meditation is practiced. To be born into such a family is extremely rare. So, family is an integral part of society, is an integral part of the what's referred to as the spiritual evolution of humanity, the transmission of ancient traditions and teachings from one generation to the next. And so those are some of the teachings within Hinduism regarding the principle, the siete principle, the seventh principle, principle numero siete, of our Welt ethos, that of Hygge. With that, Ananda Shanti.